Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Interesting AF. We've been off the air for, I think, like 1, 2 weeks. Some of us have been sick. Some of us have been doing the New York City Marathon.
Walking. I like to stress that.
Yes, still doesn't matter. You did
I
it.
did. I did
You
it. That's
did
right.
it.
I got my medal.
You did it. That's what
Fucking
matters.
did it.
And so
That's right.
in case you don't get it, then Linda was the one that was sick and had zero voice and so couldn't do it. And she did not run a marathon or walk it for that matter. But we are back. And I'm really excited about this episode because I think it's going to be fun. Because I think, we are going to talk today about the great equalizers, the great human equalizers. So, which I had to look this up because I didn't know when Elaine suggested this topic. That it's basically everything like, things that everybody feels or does or has to, it happens to them in their lifetime. So I
And
think
to
this is good.
me, there's an added point of that is like great human equalizers also include things like it doesn't matter what your socioeconomic background is, what
Yep.
class, race, country, like it doesn't matter. There are just some things that we all have to endure. Like, sure, some of like the uber rich in the world who are well above any of us normies down here on planet Earth, but it doesn't matter if you come from lower, middle, upper, like any semblance of that. There are just some great human equalizers that we all have to endure as well. So I also put a couple of those in there too, because it don't matter how much money or how little money you have. Some of these are just, we all look ridiculous or we all have to endure them. So I want
Indeed.
to add that point too.
Indeed. And I think it's good to remember that. It's good to remember that there are things that we all feel happen to us, you know, whatever that, in this time of, and I will say this, in seeming, polarization, I think we have more in common than we have, different. And so I think this is kind of where we want to go and kind of think about, this. So I don't know, do we start with the heavy ones or do we start with the fun ones? Because I kind of want to
I say
start.
we just like we could just throw them in as we feel them. So
All right,
whichever you
perfect.
want to throw your first
All
one,
right.
you want to light, it doesn't
I'll
matter.
I'll throw the first one. And I think one of the great human equalizers is that everybody looks hot in sunglasses.
Ooh, I like that one.
That's why, ladies, never flirt with somebody that is wearing sunglasses. Wait till that person takes off the sunglasses. And
That's a
I
fantastic life lesson.
speak from experience.
Everyone looks hot in sunglasses, assuming they have found the sunglasses that work for their face.
But I will tell you, even if they don't work for their face, it creates and I was talking to somebody about it. I was like, it's because it
Oh,
creates facial symmetry. No matter if even if they work for your face or not, it like creates, and we're all attracted to symmetry. So I think that's why everybody looks hot in sunglasses.
that's so good. I've never, ever, ever thought of it that way.
And neither did I until I was driving to an event on Friday talking about this. And I was like, wait, maybe this is why. But I have
That's
yet to see anybody that is not improved by a pair of sunglasses.
I'm trying to think. It's either someone I know or some actor. I'm pretty sure it's someone I know, so I won't blow up their spot. Because also I can't think of who it is. But I know in my head there is an example, and I will find that for you, and we will discuss this off offline.
Offline.
And it's gonna drive me. I'm gonna think of it like 3 days from now, like 4 in the morning, and text you and be like, I have an example for you. But
Perfect.
I know I have an example because I know that my husband and I have talked about being like, if he just picked a different, like this person is so committed to this one style
Yeah.
of sunglasses, and I'm like, it ain't working. Like, just
Yeah.
look. Okay, but I would still be curious to. once I remember who the hell this person is, I will find a picture of them in the sunglasses.
And then out of the sunglasses.
I have a
There has
question.
yes.
Here's I'm gonna throw this at you. What about like transitions sunglasses, like the real serial killer look?
Which ironically both of my husband and dad have. I don't count those.
Okay.
It
All
has to
right.
be it has to be real sunglasses
Yeah,
because if you see them without the like with the not it's not gonna because you've seen them in both,
that's fair.
and so I don't know, but I have to
No, that
test.
question just popped into my head, and I was
That's a
like,
good question.
"Wow."
What
All
about
right, that's
what?
fair.
That's nuance. I like it. We're talking about nuance.
Yes. Okay, so I will one of the ones that I have believed for decades, a great human equalizer that is like similar but like opposite to
Yeah.
yours is that no one, even the most stylish of people and even the most attractive of people, no one looks good in bowling shoes.
100%. No way. You just look like an idiot clown that
Everyone, yeah.
forgot the rest of your clown outfit.
Like, you wanna go bowling, you will have to enter a great human equalizer because bowling shoes are hideous. They are thin and flat-footed, but, like, you gotta wear them.
Yeah.
And bowling is way more fun, especially when you're with your friends having a couple beers, than worrying about bowling shoes, but no one looks good in bowling shoes.
I have never seen one person look good in bowling shoes.
Like, even the kind that you might be able to style and pick out for yourself, like,
Yeah,
no.
but it's because the way they're like the way they make you walk too. Like you kind of like
Kind
there's
of
a little
slipping.
you're kind of slipping and it's kind of a waddle, I think. Like if I remember, I haven't gone bowling in a while, but yeah, not even kids. Like I think kids were like wearing bowling and I was like, "What is happening?"
Nothing's cute about it.
Nothing is cute about it. It's just it's like a means to an end whether you're going to
Yeah,
bowl well or not. But yeah, definitely not. It was not thought
there's
about.
there's no style of pant or shorts or skirt that will make them look good.
I
You
should
gotta
hope you're not
bring, like, your own socks, like, it's not cute. There's
I
nothing
should
cute.
hope you're not going bowling in a skirt.
Yeah, no, me neither, but, like, I don't know, long skirt, I don't
Fine,
know.
yeah, yeah, okay. Yeah, but I feel like you'd slip and, like, accidentally moon somebody.
True. Yeah, like, I would love for someone to prove me wrong. Like,
Yeah, hey, everybody,
show me
our
some bowling shoes where someone looks cute, but
exactly, our email is open. Email us to say, "Hey, this person does not look hot in sunglasses," and or "This person looks hot in bowling shoes." I like how we've gone directly to the attractiveness ones all at once.
yeah, we're starting off light. We'll
Yeah,
start it off.
it's gonna get real dark.
Yeah.
For the ones that I have, it's gonna get real dark.
Alright, let's go to one of those.
Okay. Sorry to bring everybody down. Death. Death is a great human equalizer.
There
It
are
either
only 2 truths in this world, right? What are they?
death and taxes,
That's right. That's right.
and that you look ugly in bowling shoes. Just there.
If I
Um,
when I die, please make sure I'm not in bowling shoes.
I will done. Um, I just, we think, it's like that quote from The Good Place, like, when Michael thinks about him being over and dying somehow. And like Eleanor's like, yeah, humans are a little bit sad sometimes. We know about death and we're a little bit sad sometimes. But I think in the end, that show does really talk about the fact that death gives life meaning, right? The fact that it ends gives life meaning. And one would hope that that great equalizer makes you want to improve where you are and and that's another discussion, but I think that's one of the things that it happens to you, it happens to people around you, you're affected by it. Obviously there are different types of degrees, like for example the first real like death that I experienced, it was like when I was 3, and that was one of my first memories was of my great grandmother dying. And I remember and that was a formative experience for me
Mhm.
because it was so peaceful. Like, she was
Mm.
surrounded by her family. She was, she went, very peacefully. She just, like, fell asleep and, like, and I remember, like, everybody just being quiet, and I remember driving her to because in my culture, we bury them very quickly, so we went and buried her. So it was, like, very, like, quiet. But then I had like a huge slew of time where death didn't really affect me. There were some people in high school that like passed away because of accidents, but I wasn't super close to them. Then like the big one was like my grandfather in like my early 20s, but it like happens to you in like different ways, or you are affected by the fact that somebody could die. Like
Yeah.
near yeah, and I think also that is extremely scary more than like sometimes death happening, right? If somebody's really sick and you think they're gonna, pass away, that's I think also very intense for people. So I think that's one of the great, one I think when people think about equalizers, I think they think about death, right? They think about how this happens to everybody and they cannot, do it. And I think that's why, you have like the uber rich trying to fight it, right? You have all these like, oh, we live in blue zones and we want to, and you're like,
Well, and that was the point I was gonna bring up to my earlier point, like, that is the that is the capital T, capital H, capital E, great human equalizer. It's what makes us part of what makes us human. Um, that one truly throws socioeconomic status out the window
yep,
because, you know, some of the ones on my list, yeah, you're super uber rich. You may not have to go to some of these places on my list, but there is no amount of money that can get you out of this one.
nope,
There is not. And
nope,
I don't care what's his name, Brian Johnson, who's trying to
yep.
reverse his age. Like, you can spend, like, for science, great, love to see it. Like, let's learn all we can about it. But at
But
the end of the day, sorry, buddy. Like,
you can
so
you
that is
can
the great
slip and
human.
fall and die. You could slip and
Yeah.
fall and die.
That is my husband's biggest fear is slipping out of the shower. And so oh, God rest his soul, Bob Saget, when that happened from a fall in the
Oof.
shower, he literally like we had to
Right,
put
yeah.
bathroom mats everywhere because he was like, "This is he's like afraid of like like blowing out his knee coming out of the shower, and now he's like, "God damn it! Now I got to worry about falling and hitting my head, dying."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sorry, babe.
Yeah, but that's the thing, like, it doesn't like, you can try to plan as much as you can. You can, eat as much, eat as well as you can and live long, but, like, if your life is shitty, like, if you just do things for yourself like, I mean, that's a philosophical question, obviously, but, I think fundamentally we'll always have death is the thing that we all fear somehow, that we all like plan for or not plan for or deny, but
Yeah.
it's always there. And that's the dark one. I think that's as dark as we can get, I think. Um
Well, I'll keep going. Yours are setting up mine really well, by the
all
way.
right, awesome. We
Um,
planned this, everybody.
but we didn't talk like
But
we didn't.
we
Like,
didn't.
we didn't talk about each other. We literally said, like, we're not gonna share our list with each other.
Nope.
Um, but I think, like, this is also kind of the point is, like, none of these should be shocking to people, right?
Yeah.
Like, some of these are funny and you may not like, I never thought of the sunglasses thing, but my next one would be grief, right? Like, no amount of money or I don't care how shitty of a person you are or how, narcissistic or self-centered you are, there's someone in your life you care about. And like you said, it's not just maybe losing that person or the fear of losing that person. Like, if that happens to you, like grief, it comes in many forms and we all experience it. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter what language you speak, how much money you make. Like, grief is another great human equalizer. And I think what isn't equal is how people handle grief.
Oh yeah.
And like, I know I've had my own weird ways of being like, "Ooh, I did not think," like, I'll bring up this example. So my dad is a 4-time cancer survivor. The first time
Yay.
Yay. the first time we found out about it, it was stage 4. It was, I mean, truly like out of nowhere. Like my dad was in his 50s, young, healthy, like he went in for a sore throat and the next thing we know, we're like, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
Um and I'm a very social extroverted person and I got pissed when people would call me to like offer support and condolences and all this, and I was I got mad at my family for telling everybody, which is like such an opposite reaction to how I would think I would react
Yeah.
to that type of news. um so like grief is a great human equalizer, but what isn't equal about it is how each person handles it. And it's not just how each person handles it, it's how you handle it in each situation. Like grief comes in many waves and forms and doesn't come, sometimes it doesn't come immediately. And sometimes you think it didn't come at all, but like you may reflect back and be like, oh, okay, maybe I had acted out and maybe that was like, a form of grief. So that's my dark one that kind of goes along with yours.
Yeah, and I think, calling them dark, I think is a little
Heavy.
it's heavy. Yeah, it's heavy because it's not dark if it's
Dark.
part of what happens. Yeah, and I think
Yeah,
even the most narcissistic feel grief for themselves. Like even if they don't feel
totally.
grief for other people, they'll feel the sense of loss of not being able to get what they want or not being,
Great
and
point.
they will feel it, I think, more acutely when it has to do with them as opposed to when it has to do with somebody else. But I think the feeling is the same, right? Grief, and also the fact that grief stays with you. It doesn't go away. Like it just hangs out in a it's a bit like grief, like to a certain degree, death, like at least is final, but like
Yeah.
grief is just the bitch that keeps on giving, right? Like, um, you know, it's very odd when you are grieving something because it comes out of fucking nowhere. Like you can just be like, I blah blah blah, living my life, and then all of a sudden you see something, you smell something, you hear something, and you're like put back immediately to that. And I think I wonder if it's like the brain's way of thinking and keeping the person safe, right? It goes, this is the
Yeah.
worst thing that can happen to you, and you survived it. And so it reminds you that you can do it. I don't know. Maybe it's me trying to make sense of something that is completely senseless, but you know,
No, I mean, I think our basic animalistic instincts are fight or flight, right?
yeah,
And I feel like grief sits somewhere in that because there's like fear as a part of it. There's like kind of like we said, how you react to it. So I can't imagine that it's senseless. I think it goes to some, and I like your point. That's like sometimes the brain goes into that protective mode where it's like, hey, the worst thing that has happened to you thus far has happened to you. So
yeah,
you getting this shot is not going to be the worst thing that happens. You know what I mean? Like, and it is weird.
exactly,
It
right,
like
yeah.
reminds you and puts you back in that place. Like, I honestly think some of the hardest grieving I ever did was when we had to put our dog down in 2020. Like,
I bet.
because he was not that old, he was not that sick, but he was in a lot of pain. He had lots of behavioral issues. It was the fucking worst. And it took me years to be able to even talk about him without like
Bursting into
completely
tears.
bursting into tears or at least completely welling up and having a tear like come down my face. Like it's so weird and random. And then sometimes you grieve harder for things than others. And like some of that could be like compounded grief from other things, but like it's weird.
Yeah, the
Grief
thing
is
that the
weird.
grief yeah, the grief that like was the weirdest for me was the grief of after I had a kid, of like losing my
A
old
big one.
self. And
Oh, it's a big one.
that was like the weirdest one in the sense that like I didn't expect it. I was like, "Oh, kids
Mhm.
change you and but I didn't expect it to be that fundamental about how I felt about myself. And that one was a cluster.
That's a big one. That's a good one.
That one was a cluster. Um, and that one was tough in the sense that I didn't realize that it was gonna be that big of a deal for me.
Yeah.
Like, I thought, yeah, things would change, but, like, I'm never the person that was I'm never gonna be the person that I was before I had kids, ever.
Yeah.
Like, that
Yeah.
person's dead. That person's gone.
And you're allowed to grieve that.
Yeah.
Because grieving it doesn't mean that you're upset or mad about it.
Yeah.
It's just and you can be upset and mad about it. Like you
Yeah.
can. There's space for both of those things. You can love the person you were back then and love the person you are now and miss the person you were
Yeah.
and sometimes wish you were still able to do some of the things you could before you had kids. That does not mean you love your kids any less or love who
Yeah.
you are any less. You're
Oh,
allowed
f
to grieve that.
oh,
That's
for
more
sure.
messy. I know you know that, but that's like louder for
Y
those in the back.
Yeah,
It's
no, no,
okay.
for sure, and I think no, but I think that it was the shock of it. It was the shock
Yeah,
that
yeah,
I
yeah.
was gonna like, nobody told me that that was gonna be a thing,
It's because no one tells us anything. Like, we think that we know going in, like, we think we've heard all the things about
but we've heard none of the
childbirth and having
things.
kids. No one tells us anything.
No one tells us
I knew
anything, like
nothing, Jon Snow. I knew fucking nothing.
and and the thing is, like, you do all these classes and, like, people, like, you think you're gonna be, like, okay, and, it's gonna be fine, and then it's not.
We should just assume that women are not okay after
Yeah,
giving
no,
birth. It's a bit important.
women are definitely not okay at
Well,
all.
because
Like,
it's also just, like, scientifically, our bodies went through so much trauma, and everyone's like, "Alright, see you next week," and you're like, get fucked. I just got sliced in half or,
yeah,
like, pushed a watermelon through my vagina.
indeed.
Fuck off.
Oh, God. It's like, my God. Um, but yeah,
Anyway,
yeah. So my next one is feeling excluded.
ooh, okay.
We all feel excluded at one point or another by people we don't care about, by people we care about, that people that don't matter at all, by people at work, by people in your family, by people it happens every time. And I think
Yeah,
it's how people, like, create their mechanisms around how they adapt to social situations. And I think it happens when you're a child, and that's how, like, your formative years, and that's how we all feel that when we're young, and that's how we kind of then develop into either not giving a shit about what people think or giving a shit too much for shit of what people think,
yeah,
trying to adapt as much as possible. That is, I think, a great human equalizer. No matter, by the way, no matter your status, because even rich people exclude others. Like, they do that all the time for a numerous amount of reasons. And I think that is one that I would add. And I think we feel that younger, but then, like, it's in different ways when we're older, but it still feels we still all feel it.
yeah, that's a good one, and, Mel Robbins talks about this both in her Let Them theory book and as part of her, Let Them theory tour on the, on Rich Ross's podcast, which I sent you. It was such a good episode.
It was really
She
good.
talked about, like, a bunch of her girlfriends from way back when went on a trip and she wasn't even invited. And so her first initial reaction was like, what the fuck? And then she took the time to be like, wait, I mean, I haven't, like, friendship and relationships, like we've talked about this, are a two-way street and I have not kept in touch with them. And instead, like with this let them theory, right? She then comes up with a way to be like, let them go on that trip. Like it's I'm not explaining it well. Like it's not like let them like she's giving them permission or anything. I highly recommend this episode and reading her book. It's truly fantastic. It's very freeing. But I think that's such a good example and like a good place where you can apply it in feeling excluded. It's like let's examine the whole situation. And like let yourself feel excluded, but don't let it impact the relationships later on because there might be a reason for that. And it might be because, like, yes, y'all are good friends and have been for a long time, but like, how involved in that relationship have you really been over the last whatever years? And that's kind of like the example that she uses in this instance.
Yeah, and I think it's actually unfair how people are like online kind of taking her message and kind of distorting it a little bit because
Yeah.
they're saying it's the only thing is let them, and it's not.
Nope.
Like, let them is like the catchy sentence that
It's
she's
half of it.
giving, but like there is like work, like there is self-awareness work that goes on behind the let them, right? Like, so I think people are being kind of unfair, even though,
It's,
I don't obviously don't agree with 100% of everything anybody says ever.
of course.
But I think people are being, really unfair about that because it does
Well,
have
because
like nuance to it.
of course, and the let them is only 50%. The other half is let me.
Yeah.
Like you really do. Like I really encourage everybody to read that book. And or if you don't want to read the whole book, this one episode that she did on the Rich Ross podcast was truly spectacular. Like I listened to it on one of my training walks. I was texting Linda the whole way because
Yeah.
I'm just like screaming along with some of it because there's some of
Yeah.
this right that talks about feeling excluded, and then there's a whole bunch about family, and I mean, some of the shit she said was like, I mean, I'm literally screaming like, "Fuck yes!" Like that's what I'm talking about. Like just to no one on this
In the
trail,
middle
like
of the trail. I
just
can even see it. Like, I can even, like, picture that.
oh,
Um,
there's like people passing me on bikes being like, "The fuck is wrong with this chick?"
let them.
Let them. Let them. Yeah, I didn't give a
Yeah,
fuck.
yeah.
Like, let
But,
them.
like, yeah.
Let me have my moment.
Yeah, because I've seen a couple of, like, influencers or whatever going, "Well, Mel Robbins, she's saying, like, let people do." No, you're like, "No, she's not telling people to
No, she's
abuse
not.
you." No, that's not like that.
No.
And I'm glad that that hasn't gotten traction, but I've seen a couple people try because people are assuming that people won't read it or people won't like look at it. So, but
Yeah,
um,
except that it's like been atop of the New York Times bestseller list
yeah,
for how long, and especially self-help. Like, yeah.
yeah.
Anyway,
So,
too
yeah.
much.
So I feel like, feeling excluded is something we all feel and we all like then adapt on how we deal with the social cues that we have then later.
Yeah, even like I think that the phrase we all use now is FOMO, right?
Yeah.
Like, because sometimes it's not even like you were excluded because you weren't invited.
Yeah.
Like you can have FOMO from something you've taken part in before that you're not taking part in the moment for whatever reason, and you feel excluded. So like I think that in to me that's included as well because that is like every truly like you're saying everyone feels that at some
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
You're even talking about like the FOMO you have for your former self. Like what
Yeah.
are all the events there like parties or things that we used to throw or go to like
Or like just leave the house without having 50 million snacks. Why the snacks? Why the
and the
snacks?
extra like 10 to 15 minutes to get in the car.
15? That's adorable.
Just like
That's adorable. For
that's a
the
good one.
It's like a process of, like, getting out of the house. But yeah,
Yes.
I think so. I think that one's more formative than we give it credit for.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For
um,
sure.
and does have a lot of impact on how we deal then with adults or kids or whatever. So that I think is a great human equalizer. All of us
Yeah.
feel excluded at some point or another.
I completely agree. I'm going to go a little lighter with mine because this one I also have thought about. So I think the first time I ever thought about it as a great human equalizer, I can like pinpoint the exact moment. It was 2008. I was traveling to go to one of the I got to go to both national conventions in 2008 with the job I had at the time. And they were like super tight in timing, so I was flying from one city to the next. And I'm at baggage claim, and I see several like very famous newscasters from CNN, Fox News, like all the main ones, and like regardless of whether you watched that station or not, you knew who they were. We're talking about John King and Greta Van Susteren, um, Dana Bash, like all the big names at the time. And I'm just kind of sitting there like, Yeah, I mean, y'all got a bunch of money. Y'all are way richer than I am. I don't know why I keep coming back to the money piece of it because money can buy a lot of convenience, right? Is probably why I keep going to that. And so unless you're like actually flying private or like send a courier to get your shit for you, like you got to wait for your goddamn bag just like
You
everybody
gotta wait
else.
for your goddamn bag.
And like there's no line for you to cut, there's no express lane, there's, none of that
Like, no
shit.
hidden
So
thing, yeah. Yeah, that is a
nope,
great human
just
equal.
you're just gonna have to fucking wait for your goddamn bag. And if you had a connecting flight or your bag didn't make it, you got to go figure it out like the rest of us.
Also, I don't know if this is a great human equalizer, but it's, like, connected to that, that you have a moment of panic on whether your suitcase broke.
Always. Yes.
Suitcase broke, and that baggage claim is gonna see all of your dirty, like, stuff that's in there. And I think
Mine's
that's
more
like a
like, did someone take my bag? Like,
yes.
did someone, so I always try to put like bag tags on there that are loud and obnoxious. Like, I won't go as far as getting the loud, obnoxious suitcase.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
have a suitcase that looks like fucking everybody else's, but I will throw a lot of like, characterizing bag tags on it. But my panic is more like, is someone going to take my bag?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Think not maliciously, just like thinking it's theirs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have a loud, obnoxious bag, it's, like, bright blue. I'm like, "Fuck it."
Kinda wanna get my face on a
Ooh.
suitcase, and then, there's like in Sing 2, like the big fat pig,
Yeah, yeah,
like the
yeah.
giant pig has his face on his luggage, like, I kinda wanna do that so that there's absolutely no way someone could confuse my
That
bag for
is
theirs.
that is that is a good one.
Yeah, but that one I've kind of always had on there because 'cause I'm like, "Yeah, Greta, like, sup? We're
Get
waiting for
your
our bags."
suitcase. Get your
Yep. I bet
suitcase.
your hotel room's a hell of a lot nicer and more convenient than mine, but
But
guess what?
sti
Until
you
you get your bag,
still gotta
you're
get your
hanging out with
bag.
me.
It's a great one.
Yeah. So
Um,
that's one of my silly ones.
so, a great human equalizer for me is you will
You
always
will
have the
al
panic of losing your keys. Like, you will
Yeah.
experience that of, like, the panic of having misplaced your keys, even though you could be the most highly organized person ever and you have a place, but there's going to be one time or two or whatever where you have the panic of like going, "Oh my god, I lost all the keys and anybody can walk into my house and what's going to happen?" And like I'm going to and you might find them late like right, but that panic that sits in, everybody's felt that.
Yes, I agree. I think the panic now with everyone is more the phone.
Yes. Now I mean, but like the
Like,
key now the phone's going to
no,
be
no, like,
that, but
completely. But yeah, that's a good one. You're like, "I know I put the." Oh, man.
I had this happen to me just last week. I was taking my kids to the dentist. And, like, I have a car that, like, you close and you can lock as long as the keys are near you.
Mhm.
And I did it, I locked it, but then I was like, "Where the fuck are the keys?" And I, like, look in my purse, I can't find them. I'm like, "Are they inside?" I can open the door, so that means the keys are somewhere in my purse, and I'm like, "What's going on?" And then, like, I was like, "You know what? I can open it, I can close it, I can lock it. That means the keys are somewhere. I'll find them. Let's go to the dentist." And then I touch my butt and my keys are in my butt pocket. And it was like literally me and my kids for like 6 minutes going, "Where the fuck did they fall on the floor? Did they like I don't know." And I'm
Sit
like,
on them,
am
yeah.
I sitting like so
Sweet.
it is constant. Like everybody has that at least once. But yeah, I
Yeah,
can
yeah.
see that or maybe we can change it
It's
to
a good
great
one.
human lasers. You lose one thing that like sets you in a panic and you're like you've lost everything and you don't know how you're going to get it back. You used to be the wallet, right? But now like our
Yep.
phones can be our wallets. So, yeah, I
I
think that
used to I used to crack up from the, Austin Powers movies when he would go, "Spectacles, testicles, wallet, and watch." And, like, I've done, like, especially when we go into the office, I do my own thing where it's like, computer, watch, wallet, you do your, like, list of
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But there's there's absolutely that panic, and I have to say, like, nothing infuriated and still infuriates me, but thankfully it doesn't happen quite as often as it did, right in the, I would say, year and a half, 2 years after childbirth. But the like straight up amnesia I would get, like, I would, you walk into a room and like instantly forget why you were in there. Like, it sounds cliche, but I would get so frustrated because I know I can visualize myself, let's like, with keys, with my phone, with something I was going to need later that day. I visualize myself putting it down where it goes. And then when I actually need it, it's not there.
Same.
And I cannot figure out where the fuck it is. I literally got to the point where I started accusing people in my household that they were fucking with me. Because I'm like, I know I put it here. And if I didn't put it here, where the fuck else would I put it? And things would just go missing. Like, it, that, I mean, for a solid year,
Mommy brain
like,
is a thing.
oh, it is a thing forever, but, like, it is truly a thing, like, especially right after. And, like, I still, some of the stuff I still to this day, like, I'm sure I found most of it, but I still couldn't tell you where the hell I had put it when I thought I had
Amen.
put it
Yeah.
somewhere else. It's so frustrating,
So
like, so
frustrating.
frustrating. So, yeah, I felt that, I feel that panic regularly, but nothing like that,
Oh,
that
anymore.
first
Yeah, yeah,
year.
yeah.
All right, I'll throw out my last, like, heavy one,
Okay.
which I think touches even a little bit of, like, the one that we just talked about, but embarrassment. Like, I don't care how full of yourself you think you are, at some point, whether you hide it well or not, everybody has moments of embarrassment. And I'm not saying everybody wants to, but, like, shit happens. Like, you trip and fall in front of other people, you're gonna feel a sense of embarrassment. I think it's totally normal. It's totally human. But I do think that is another great human equalizer because, or like, you accidentally say a word wrong and it just, there's that like moment of panic. But I think every single person on the planet has felt embarrassed.
100%. And I tend not to feel embarrassed about like myself, if
Yeah,
that
yeah,
makes
yeah, yeah,
any
yeah.
sense.
Oh yeah.
So
I have
I
no shame.
I have no shame. Like I don't feel like embarrassed like at all like when like when anything happens, right? However, when I'm watching a show or a movie, I will feel so embarrassed for a fake character that I don't know. And I'll be like, "Can we just fast forward this part? Because it's so embarrassing and I can't handle it." And you can put me in like the shitty, like, somebody will, like, my kid will say the most out of pocket thing to a person or something. And I'll be like, "All right, cool." Like, I will be zero embarrassed. And then my, I will not be able to handle the embarrassment of somebody, a character in a movie. Like it's insane. Like I don't understand it. Like I literally like crawl into myself when it's like something really embarrassing in a movie. I'm like, what is wrong with me? But yeah.
It's, what do the,
So yes,
what do the
but
kids say
everybody
now? It's
feels
like, it gives them the ick, or like it's cringy,
it's
right? Like it's just
cringy.
like
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
awkwardness. So like,
Exactly.
I get that because like the movie Meet the Parents makes me so uncomfortable because it's just like
Oh
constant
yeah.
comparison of Ben Stiller. Like, I also get that way about like, if it happens in a show or a movie where something could just easily be explained away and then it isn't, and it, like, the whole episode or the whole show becomes about this like misunderstanding, like, that, I hate that shit. But
Yeah.
yes, I get it. Like, you get embarrassed on behalf of someone else and then you just like can't seem to get over
And you get
it.
and like you're like, I don't even know these people. Like,
I know.
what is wrong with me? Like it's
And
just
maybe
like
that's why, like, sometimes you get embarrassed for other people, and not that you're gonna say anything, but it's because you don't know them that that
yeah.
kicks in. I
Yeah.
don't know.
But yeah, I agree. That is a great human equalizer. We all feel And
But yeah, and I don't have shame, like, I won't feel embarrassed for myself, but, like, if I call somebody by the wrong name, I'm unbelievably embarrassed
yes.
because I should know better.
Yeah.
Or sometimes you're in a situation where, like, maybe you didn't or you misheard it, but, like, that feeling of, like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so
So
sorry," like,
like, because it
I
felt like you
was
disrespected them somehow, and
yeah,
you're like,
and you didn't mean to, but, like, and so, like, if someone mispronounces your name, like, please correct them because,
yes,
like, I know speaking for myself, like, I would never wanna continually call somebody by the wrong name.
nope,
So, don't ever feel bad about correcting me at least. I'm
same.
like
Same, and I will say I don't care about how my name's pronounced, my real name, obviously. However, spell it right, okay? Just
yes.
it's in the fucking email. It's in the
It's
fucking
in
email.
the fucking email. What? Come on. Yeah. Big problem with that, especially people who've known me for a really long time. I'm like, "In what fucking world? You had to put
No.
the letters to find the email you were responding to."
I have noticed though that Microsoft, like, Outlook is now correcting names appropriately.
The problem is mine can be spelled several ways,
Ah,
all of
yeah,
which
yeah,
would
yeah. That's true. That's true. That's true.
which is real fucking annoying.
Yeah, well, mine
But
too. So, like, it'll
yeah,
be spelled in multiple ways, but yeah. But yeah, that is a good human equalizer. It's interesting how, like, most of these are like feelings, right? Like
yeah,
most of the, because we all, like, feelings are pretty universal, right? You all will feel something. We're not talking about things like empathy and things like that. There's a little bit more nuanced, and I think, but we're talking about the big ones. The ones that you teach your kids. The
yeah.
anger, the embarrassment,
And
the
but it's those it's the how many like complex feelings that we have that literally separate us from animals, right? Like free will is the one truth, like the real thing that separates humans and animals. But like, and animals, they feel grief, they feel fear. There's death, of course. They might even experience embarrassment. Like, who
right. We
really
don't.
knows?
Who knows?
But in terms of like the nuance and the depth in which we feel it, it's what separates us from being animals.
Yep.
So it doesn't surprise me that we kind of like defaulted to some of that. And I think like even like my, bowling shoes and like baggage claim is like there's a little bit of an embarrassment in each of those. There's a little bit of anger that comes with sitting and waiting for your stupid bag. You know what I mean? Like there are those like human emotions that come along with a lot of the equalizers that I put on my list. So
Yeah. And I think that's, we try to have this human experience, you know, obviously we don't all have the same lives, and like I always say, like, trauma is trauma. It doesn't matter how deeply
mhm.
you feel trauma, how you feel trauma, right? Doesn't mean yours is better than somebody else's or whatever, but the feelings, you elicit are the same. And I think that's what we, especially in times like these where we need to remember that we're all human. We're all on this floating ball of rock hurtling through the universe, trying to make sense of it all. I think we should just
Amen.
be kinder to each other, and
God,
just,
yeah.
it's not that hard.
It's really not. It's so much less energy.
So
Like, you
much
actually
less
feel
energy.
better. Like, you just feel better to just, like I'm not saying you have to assume the best in everybody, but, like, just
No.
fucking calm down.
Yeah, calm down.
Don't be so quick to anger and malice. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
I
just
feel I feel attacked by that, but that's fine. The anger part, not the malice. Yeah.
I was like, you wouldn't be malicious
Yep.
if I paid you to be,
Yeah.
which I
Um,
wouldn't, by the way.
all good.
I would never put you in that situation, Linda.
That I believe you. I believe you.
But on the topic of malice and death,
Yeah.
we have our next doc is in.
Yes. I am super excited about it. I think we are all super excited. Um Yeah, I the popping. It's just the
Yeah.
popping. The popping.
Yeah.
So we will be talking about the Netflix version, even though there's another one, of the Titanic like, is it called like, it's
It's
Titan.
the
It's called
Titan.
it's the Titan.
Titan
Um,
submersible from the company Ocean Gate.
yes, exactly, and we will just be talking about it's Netflix is around an hour and a half or so,
Think
um,
so.
and it is magnificent. You will be horrified, um,
Yes.
and, yeah, it's quite the journey, and that's the one we're gonna be talking about.
It's
Um,
called, Titan: The Ocean Gate Disaster, and that's the one on Netflix. There is one on Discovery,
yep,
which, in the US is part of HBO Max, I believe.
yep,
HBO Max, whatever. That one is called Implosion: The Titanic Sub-Disaster. We will probably reference some of that, but
yep,
in terms of, like, quote, unquote, "required watching," the
yeah,
Netflix one will be the main catalyst
ex
of
exactly.
discussion,
Yep.
of a harrowing story that Linda and I followed from the
The
get
beginning.
you.
From the beginning.
Like, we were ready to make our own graphics of, like, how much
Yeah,
metaphorical oxygen they had left.
exactly. Oof, God.
It's gonna be it's gonna be lots of human emotions in that one.
Yeah, we're gonna be excited. We're excited about that one. So watch that one and come back for this discussion. And also, our emails are open to you talking about the great equalizers that you think are around that we've missed. Obviously, this wasn't a super long conversation. There's obviously more, but we'd love to hear about yours. And if you have some great ones, we'll talk about them next time.
Love it.
But but yeah, join us next time. And Elaine, take us out.
Stay interesting.